You wake up and you see the headlines. Another industry disrupted. Another job category automated. Another wave of workers replaced by systems that never sleep, never complain, never ask for raises. And somewhere in your chest, you feel it. That quiet panic. That knowing question you try to ignore. Am I next? Will the skills I have been building, the expertise I have been counting on, the career I have been constructing piece by piece, will any of it matter in 12 months? Carl Jung understood something that most people still refuse to face. The external world is always changing. Technology accelerates, markets shift. What was valuable yesterday becomes obsolete tomorrow. But there is a category of human capacity that no algorithm can replicate, no robot can perform, no system can automate. And if you master these 5 skills before 2026 takes full shape, you will not just survive the transformation. You will become irreplaceable. You will become the person others depend on when everything else fails. Listen carefully. The people who will build wealth in 2026 are not the ones with the most technical knowledge. They are not the ones who can code faster or analyze data more efficiently. Machines already do that better than you. The people who will thrive are the ones who possess the deeply human capacities that artificial intelligence cannot touch. The skills that require presence, intuition, psychological depth, and the ability to navigate the unmapped territory of human complexity. These are not optional anymore. They are survival tools. And you need to start building them today, right now, not when you feel ready, not when the conditions are perfect, but immediately, because the world is not waiting for your permission to evolve. The first skill that will make you rich in 2026 is the ability to read the unconscious dynamics in any room. Jung called this psychological perception. It is the capacity to sense what is not being said, to notice the tension beneath the polite conversation, to recognize when someone is projecting their fear onto a situation, to see the shadow operating in group dynamics, to understand that every human interaction is layered with unconscious material, and most people are completely blind to it. They think they are responding to facts when they are actually reacting to triggers. They think they are making rational decisions when they are defending their ego. They think they are communicating clearly when they are performing a role. You cannot automate this. No system can tell you what someone truly wants when they themselves do not know. No algorithm can navigate the emotional undercurrents that determine whether a deal closes, whether a team collaborates, whether a leader inspires or alienates. But you can learn this. You can develop the ability to watch people not just with your eyes, but with your awareness. You notice body language, tone shifts, energy changes. You pay attention to what people avoid talking about, because that is where the real issue lives. You recognize patterns. You see when someone is repeating the same unconscious behavior in different contexts. And when you possess this skill, you become invaluable. Because businesses do not fail because of bad products. They fail because of unresolved team dynamics, unconscious leadership blind spots, and the inability to navigate human complexity. Projects do not collapse because of technical problems. They collapse because people cannot communicate, cannot trust, cannot see their own projections destroying collaboration. And the person who can walk into that chaos and actually see what is happening beneath the surface. The person who can name the unconscious pattern everyone is enacting, but no one is acknowledging. That person becomes essential. That person makes money. That person builds influence. That person cannot be replaced by a machine because machines do not have a psyche. They cannot read what they do not possess. Start practicing this today. In every conversation, ask yourself, what is happening beneath what is being said? What is this person defending? What are they afraid of? What role are they playing and why? Do not judge, just observe. And over time, you will develop a kind of psychological radar that most people never cultivate. You will walk into rooms and immediately sense the dynamics. You will know who holds real power and who is performing power. You will recognize when resistance is about the idea or about the person's need to maintain control. And this awareness will give you an edge that no technical skill can provide. The second skill that will make you rich in 2026 is the ability to hold paradox without collapsing into binary thinking. The world is getting more complex. The problems we face do not have simple solutions. The challenges businesses encounter cannot be solved with either-or thinking. But most people cannot tolerate ambiguity. They need certainty. They need clear answers. They need to be right. And so they oversimplify. They reduce complexity to false binaries. They choose sides instead of seeing the whole picture. And this makes them useless in environments that require nuance, strategic thinking, and the capacity to integrate contradictory information. Jung taught that psychological maturity is the ability to hold opposites in tension without forcing resolution, to be confident and humble, to be decisive and open, to be disciplined and flexible. Most people cannot do this. They swing from one extreme to the other. They are either rigid or chaotic, either aggressive or passive, either overly optimistic or completely cynical, and this rigidity makes them predictable. It makes them limited. It makes them easy to replace. But if you can develop the capacity to sit with paradox, to consider multiple perspectives simultaneously, to make decisions without needing absolute certainty, you become rare. You become the person who can lead through complexity, who can advise clients when the situation is unclear, who can build strategies that account for variables others cannot even see. This is not about being wishy-washy. It is about being psychologically sophisticated. It is about recognizing that reality is layered and that the most powerful solutions often come from integrating what appears to be contradictory. Practice this every single day. When you encounter a problem, resist the urge to immediately pick a side. Sit with the tension. Ask yourself, what is true on both sides? What am I missing if I collapse this into a simple answer? Where is my need for certainty limiting my perception? This is uncomfortable. Your ego wants resolution. It wants to be right. But transformation happens in the discomfort. And the more you practice holding paradox, the more you develop the cognitive flexibility that will make you indispensable in a world that refuses to be simple. The third skill that will make you rich in 2026 is the ability to integrate your own shadow so you stop sabotaging yourself unconsciously. This is the skill no one talks about. No one teaches it in business school. No one mentions it in productivity content. But it is the difference between people who have talent and people who actually succeed. Because you can have all the skills in the world, all the knowledge, all the opportunity, and still destroy everything you build if you have not done your inner work. Your shadow is everything you have disowned about yourself. The anger you pretend not to feel. The ambition you hide because you were taught it was selfish. The need for recognition you deny while constantly seeking validation. The fear of failure you cover with overwork. These unconscious forces do not disappear because you ignore them. They operate beneath your awareness, sabotaging your decisions, distorting your perceptions, creating the exact outcomes you claim you do not want. And until you face them, until you integrate them, you will remain your own greatest obstacle. Jung believed that people who do not confront their shadow end up living it out unconsciously. They project it onto others. They create drama. They repeat the same destructive patterns and wonder why their life never changes. But the person who does shadow work, who turns inward and retrieves what they have been avoiding, that person becomes whole. That person stops wasting energy on internal conflict. That person becomes capable of showing up fully without self-sabotage. And this matters more than ever in 2026 because the pressure is increasing. The opportunities are massive, but so is the exposure. If you have unresolved shame, you will sabotage success when it comes. If you have unconscious fear of visibility, you will destroy your own platform. If you have a hidden belief that you do not deserve wealth, you will make decisions that ensure you never build it. Your outer success is always limited by your inner integration. Start doing this work now. Sit in silence every day and ask yourself, where am I lying to myself? What am I avoiding? What pattern keeps repeating in my life, and what does that reveal about my shadow? This is not therapy. This is practical strategy. Because the version of you that has integrated your shadow is 10 times more powerful than the version still running from it. That version does not self-sabotage. That version does not need external validation to act. That version builds wealth because they are not at war with themselves. The fourth skill that will make you rich in 2026 is deep listening. Not polite nodding while you wait to talk. Not surface-level hearing. But the kind of listening where you are fully present. Where you are tracking not just the words but the emotional subtext, the unspoken needs, the real question beneath the question someone is asking. Most people do not listen. They wait for their turn to speak. They filter everything through their own agenda. They miss what is actually being communicated because they are too busy formulating their response. But listening is power. When you truly listen, people feel seen. They feel understood. And in a world where everyone is distracted, where everyone is performing, where everyone is trying to be heard, the person who actually listens becomes magnetic. They build trust faster. They close deals easier. They lead more effectively because listening is not passive. It is active intelligence gathering. It is how you discover what people truly value, what they truly fear, what they truly need. And here is what most people miss. Listening is how you access information that no data analysis can provide. When you listen deeply, you hear the unconscious motivations driving decisions. You hear the emotional blocks preventing progress. You hear the unspoken resistance that will derail a project if you do not address it. And when you can hear these things, when you can respond to the real issue instead of the surface issue, you create breakthroughs others cannot. Practice this everywhere. In meetings, in conversations, in negotiations. Put your phone down, turn off the internal commentary, stop planning what you will say next. Just listen. Listen to the words, listen to the tone. Listen to what is not being said, and watch how your relationships transform. Watch how your influence grows. Watch how opportunities open because people know that when they talk to you, they are actually being heard. The fifth skill that will make you rich in 2026 is the capacity to think long-term while everyone else is reacting to the immediate. Jung understood that the unconscious operates on a different timeline than the ego. The ego wants instant results. It wants comfort now. It wants validation today. But the self, the deeper center of the psyche, operates according to a slower rhythm. It knows that real transformation takes time. That real wealth is built through patience. That real mastery requires years of disciplined attention. Most people cannot delay gratification. They cannot invest in something that will not pay off for 5 years. They cannot stay focused on a goal when results are not immediate. And so they chase quick wins. They jump from opportunity to opportunity. They abandon projects the moment they become difficult. And they wonder why they never build anything substantial. Why they never accumulate real wealth. Why their life lacks depth and meaning. But the people who win in 2026 are the ones who planted seeds in 2020. Who built skills when no one was watching. Who invested in relationships that had no immediate payoff. Who stayed committed to a vision even when the market told them to pivot. These are the people who own assets now, who have audiences, who have expertise, who have networks, not because they got lucky, but because they played a longer game than everyone else was willing to play. Start thinking in decades, not quarters. Ask yourself, what do I want to be true about my life in 2030? What skills do I need to master? What relationships do I need to build? What capital do I need to accumulate? And then work backward. What needs to happen this year, this month, this week, today, and then do that thing every single day without needing external validation, without needing to see immediate results. Just trust the process. Trust that compounded daily action over years creates outcomes that isolated effort never will. These 5 skills are not trendy. They are not flashy. They will not give you a viral moment, but they will give you something far more valuable. They will give you the psychological foundation to build wealth that lasts. To create influence that matters, to become someone who cannot be replaced because what you offer is not a technical skill. It is depth, it is presence. It is the ability to navigate human complexity in a world that is becoming more complex every single day. You have a choice right now. You can keep chasing the next productivity hack, the next AI tool, the next technical certification, hoping that will keep you relevant. Or you can do the deeper work. You can develop the human capacities that machines will never possess. You can become psychologically sophisticated. You can integrate your shadow. You can learn to read rooms, hold paradox, listen deeply, and think long-term. And when you do that, when you commit to that path, you do not just survive the future, you shape it. You become the person others look to when the systems fail, when the algorithms cannot solve the problem, when human wisdom is the only thing that works. That person will always be rich. That person will always matter. And that person can be you if you start today.